What exactly does your ex need in order to commit to you again? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video, but first, my name is Clay with modernlove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not, because you, of course, deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And if you agree with me, do me a favor by helping to give this channel a little bit of a boost by hitting that thumbs up button and by subscribing to the YouTube channel. These things help the algorithm, or so I am told, to kind of give YouTube channels a little bit of a boost, or at least an individual video a little bit of a boost. So help a guy out. It costs nothing more than a moment of your time. And if you do want to get help in a deeper sort of way, you might want to check out a survey that we put together right down below over at modernlove.life/quiz. You can check that out in the description box below. Just, click on the link, fill out the survey, and, depending on what you're looking to do and what level of service you're looking for, we can, figure out how it might make sense for us to work together. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. Relationships can come apart for any number of reasons. Now, usually when we boil it down, there's usually 3 reasons why a relationship doesn't work out. Either the two people don't fundamentally see each other as being on the same team. They see each other as being on opposite teams or opponents. They have poor communication, or the trust disintegrates in some way, or some combination of those 3. But how exactly does a couple recommit? What exactly needs to happen in order for this to fall into place? Now, obviously, that kind of dynamic needs to be reversed. So you need to be on the same team. You need to communicate clearly. You need to build trust. But beyond that, there are a couple other things as well, too. First and foremost is your ex needs to understand that the two of you actually are willing to have a real, genuine conversation about emotionally what happened and what's going on. Your ex needs to understand that their feelings are important, their feelings are valid, their feelings are heard and understood by you. This doesn't mean that you have to agree with your ex. You have to just say, yeah, whatever you want is totally fine. Let's get back together. Yeah, you're right all the time. Let's get back together. You don't got to do that. But you have to at least be willing to meet them where they're at emotionally, be willing to talk about their feelings, be willing to talk about where they're at, be willing to talk about how whatever happened or didn't happen, or whatever was said or wasn't said, affected them. And if you're willing to do that and address that, then they're going to be willing to feel seen and heard. And once that happens, that's when the armor starts to come down. And that's when they're actually open to be having a more genuine and more forthright, transparent, authentic kind of discussion with you. But until their feelings are actually seen and understood, they're going to be really defensive against that. They're going to hold back. They're going to be very defensive and kind of deflect any kind of attempt that you have at getting back together with them. So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing is they actually have to see their life as being better with you in it. Okay, they need to see their life as being better with you in it. That's to say that when they are with you, they have to have a better, more positive experience of life than they would without you in it. So that means that, you have to be able to have an emotional connection and connect and all that stuff, but they have to be able to see a compelling reason about why their life is going to be better with you in it. It can't just be like, okay, I'm going to live the exact same life that I have right now, but we're going to be in a relationship, and that's enough. No, it's not enough. You have to do more than that. And that is because you have to give them something to move toward. You have to give them something that they can envision in their mind and say, you know what, that actually does seem like that would be really nice. I actually could see myself being in a relationship with, I don't know, a musician. It'd be really cool to be able to listen to you play the guitar and all these things, or, see you, whatever it is that you do, right? Paint, whatever. And to be a part of that journey with you and to experience that. Because what you want to do when you're having a relationship with anyone is to kind of welcome them into your world. This also includes dating as well. You want to be able to welcome them into your world. And as they do this, as they come into your world, they should see an intrinsic benefit to that and enjoy that experience a lot more than if they were to just stay in their own world. Now, of course, that doesn't mean they have to leave their world 100%, but they have to be able to have access to something greater than just their experience of life, if they're actually going to be excited about having a relationship together. The third thing that your ex is going to need is, of course, they need to understand that they're not walking back into the same relationship that they walked out of. This is where a lot of that stuff that we talked about before comes into play. The two of you got to get on the same team. The two of you got to be able to communicate clearly, and the two of you got to be able to build that trust between one another. These are the 3 common reasons why relationships kind of disintegrate. Of course, there are all kinds of symptoms that manifest as the result of these sorts of things: lying, cheating, broken promises, trust issues, all sorts of stuff, arguments. You said you'd do this, but then you didn't do that, and you said you would, or all that sort of stuff. And so what we want to do is we want to look deeper beneath the surface. It's typically one of those 3 things: same team, communication, or trust. And we want to obviously reverse those. If there's any specific way that shows up in your situation, then, obviously direct energy towards resolving that in a specific kind of way. So, if you weren't really telling the truth, work on actually being truthful, work on actually being honest, work on actually being forthright, transparent, and all of that stuff, so that you can actually rebuild that trust, or, whatever the case was. And so, your ex is obviously not going to walk back into the same relationship that they walked out of in the first place. They need to see that something's going to be different, just like they need to have a positive vision for why they would want to be in a relationship with you again. They need to see that something's going to be different. They need to see that their life is better with you in it. They need to know that their emotions are important to you. And lastly, they also need to know that they're not going to feel silly for getting back together with you. This kind of builds off of the whole not walking back into the same relationship, but it kind of also spills over into other areas of their life as well too. So, one thing that's pretty common after people go through a breakup is they get into a rebound relationship. And obviously, if they're going to get back together with you, they need to end that rebound relationship. But that could be a scary prospect for a lot of people. After all, if they end a rebound relationship and for whatever reason the 2 of you don't get back together, they're going to feel kind of silly. They're going to say like, well, I ended things with you, and then I got into the relationship with this other person, and then I broke up with that other person to get back together with you, and then, we didn't get back together, so now I'm stuck alone, and now I feel silly for kind of going through all this drama and thinking of myself as, that one person that's the hot mess that's always in and out of relationships or whatever. Or they also want to think about, like, how are my friends and my family going to perceive this? Like if their friends and family don't like you and they say, well, hey, we're getting back together. Well, sure. Oftentimes, if the friends and family can see that your ex is happy, they'll probably get on board. But, if they knew that they were walking out of a bad situation and they're getting back together with you, they're going to need to know why. They're going to want to know why. They're going to want to know that, like, you're not just settling. You're not just like saying like, oh, I tried my best, but I couldn't do any better, so I'm getting back to this. This is kind of like identity stuff. So they have to be able to see that it's actually going to be an improvement to their identity if they get back together with you. They're going to have to get around areas where, maybe they might feel guilty, or maybe they might get some shame or something from family or friends or something like that. You're going to have to work through this. And oftentimes one of the best ways to do it is to really let them know that the 2 of you are like a unified front. The 2 of you are going to get through this together. It might be uncomfortable, but the 2 of you are going to do it. If you need to go there together with them, again, when the time is right, to like apologize to the parents, to talk things out with the friends or whatever, to make sure that they understand that they're not in this alone. This goes back to that whole same team thing, but this is how you actually like demonstrate it in actual reality. It's not just enough to talk a good talk, but you actually have to, show up and live by these things in order to make a meaningful difference, and in order to actually inspire them to get that this is real. This isn't just, talking and all of that stuff. This is actually real, meaningful change that's happening. And so that's really what you got to do in order to get your ex to commit. You have to really do these 4 things that we talked about. Once again, validate their feelings. Once again, show them that their life is better with you in it. Show them that they're not walking back into the same relationship that they walked out of in the first place. And show them that it's not like a step down for them to get back together with you, either, because the 2 of you, because they're settling for you, or because maybe they're going to look poorly in the eyes of other people. Other people are going to look poorly at them. So you have to really show them this. You have to really give them a path for this to happen. And if you do want us to help you with maybe this or maybe something else that you're going through, and you want to learn about how you can work with us in a deeper sort of way, we do have a survey down below that you can fill out about the different, background stuff that you might be going through. And, based off of what you're looking for, what you want to do, how you want to work with us, we can, hook you up with various different ways that we might be able to work together. But anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. If you like it, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. But once again, this is Clay. Thank you so much. If you want to learn more about what your ex is thinking, we do have this video series over here, or you might want to check out this video right here next. But anyway, thank you so much. Take care, and I'll talk to you later.